Hey everybody, once saved, always saved. Great is his reward. Let's talk about Abraham's covenant. It's concerning the people and the people inheriting the land of Israel with the marking of the flesh.
Verse 7. And I will establish my covenant between me and thee and thy seed after thee in the generations for an everlasting covenant to be a God unto thee and to thy seed after thee. Verse 8. And I will give unto thee thy seed after thee the land wherein thou art a stranger, all the land of Canaan, for an everlasting possession, and I will be their God. And God said unto Abraham, Thou shalt keep my covenant, therefore thou and thy seed after thee in the generations. This is my covenant, which ye shall keep between me and you, and thy seed after thee. Every man child among you shall be circumcised, and ye shall circumcise the flesh of your foreskin, and it shall be a token of an everlasting of a covenant betwixt me and you. And he that is 8 days old shall be circumcised among you, every man child in your generations. He is to be born in the house or bought with money, any stranger which is not of thy seed.
So here's the question. Abraham was considered righteous before circumcision. All right, you can look at Romans for that. Here's the main question, or here's the question of this section. Did the children of Israel nullify Abraham's covenant by not circumcising their sons before they entered the promised land? I'm asking this. Was the promise of Abraham, the covenant with Abraham, nullified with the children of Israel because they were not circumcised before they came to enter into the land? Israel, according to this verse, did not circumcise their children on the eighth day. So was the covenant with Abraham broken? Did they cease being the children of Israel, the children of Abraham? No. Here's another question concerning the law, concerning Leviticus 26 and Deuteronomy 28, the blessings and the curses of the law. So the law is concerning the conduct of the people. This is the law concerning the actual conduct of the people. Of the curses of the Torah, is there one that subtracts you or someone from being a member of Israel proper, not the congregation, but of being part of Israel? You've read it? There's no sin by which the children of Israel could lose their status as the children of Israel. If they could lose their status, then they would not be punished under the law, seeing how the law was meant for the children of Israel, foreigners living in the land, and God-fearers that clung to the God of Israel, of Abraham, of Isaac, and Jacob. If they cease being part of Israel, they wouldn't be punished under the law.
The law, it was not meant to discipline just random people outside the borders of Israel. It was meant for Israelites and the people living in the land. It's people in Japan, people in China, people in Rome or Greece didn't have these punishments, didn't have these plagues visited upon them because of their faithlessness to the law. They didn't even know what the law was.
Could David break the covenant by sinning? Break Abraham's covenant by him sinning? Could one of the line break the covenant by unfaithfulness? There was plenty of worthless, evil Judean kings. If there was no king of Israel, did Israel cease being a people? No. There was no king during the time of the judges, and yet they continued to be Abraham's people. So let's draw a table of what we have so far. On the y-axis is the covenants. On the x-axis is the conditions by which we could break the covenants. So let's fill this in. Nothing Abraham, the law, David, or his kin, and unfaithfulness can nullify Abraham's covenant.
So does Abraham's covenant stand opposed to the law? No, it doesn't. Does the law oppose itself? No. Does David or his kin
by breaking the law, cease being the king of Israel? No. There's plenty of evil kings within Israel. That doesn't mean that the law dissolves because of unfaithfulness. And for us, does our unfaithfulness negate the law? No, it doesn't. The law was meant for lawbreakers. The law has accommodations for your unfaithfulness. They're called punishments. They're called being disciplined. They're called bringing you back. Whether you're the king of Israel or whether you're a lonely schlub or whether you're in the army, it doesn't matter. You, under the same law, you can't break the law. So it's not offerable anymore. No. I mean, that's what we're talking about. Nullifying these covenants so they're no longer operable. No, you cannot break the law by your unfaithfulness. So let's talk about this. Did the circumcision or Abraham's covenant, did that negate or could that negate David's covenant, the line that was become through David? No. Uh, the faithfulness towards the law, could that negate David's covenant? No. He got punished for his sin. The law does not stand opposed to David's covenant. Could David's kins or David himself uh, nullify his own covenant that God set up with him? Well, he came pretty close, and his kin came pretty close, Hezekiah, but at no point was that ever nullified, or could that ever be nullified, or we wouldn't have our Messiah. So that was never going to be nullified. Unfaithfulness or his line's unfaithfulness? No. Does our unfaithfulness nullify King David's covenant? No. Yeshua HaMashiach's covenant, as he is the author of the new covenant, is complicated. Let us deal strictly with the salvation portion of the covenant. Does Yeshua HaMashiach save the uncircumcised? Yes. Does the uncircumcision negate salvation? No. Paul didn't circumcise Titus. Does the Jews' current unfaithfulness to the Messiah negate them being the chosen people of God? No, it does not. I'll let you guys hash out replacement theology in the comments. This is not what this video is about. Here's a controversial one currently with the church, not so much years ago. Do we nullify the law through faith? May it never be. On the contrary, we establish the law. Romans 3:31. Fight it out in the comment sections. Ephraim Awakening and Anonymism. Just duke it out there. That's not what this video is about. Is there any way David, his kin, could negate Messiah's covenant? Well, the Messiah is of the line of King David, so no. There's nothing he could have done retrospectively from the grave, him and her skin, to negate the covenant of Messiah. We've come to the final square. All the rest of the squares were rock solid, that you can't negate, you can't destroy, you cannot nullify those covenants. This is the last one, and I'm supposed to believe from smart men, good men I actually respect, that this one square can be nullified. That's the position of the reservation of the saints. Whose covenant is Abraham's covenant with? Is it between me and God? Is it between me and Abraham? Or is it between God and Abraham? The covenant of the law, is that between me and the children of Israel? Is that between me and God? Or is that between God and the children of Israel, and I'm brought into it through the prophet Isaiah? Whose covenant is King David with? Is it between me and God, or is it between King David, his kin, and God? Whose covenant is the Messiah's covenant with? Is it between me and the Father, or is it between the Father and the Son? Of all the squares, this is the most solid, unbreakable, unnullifiable square you can possibly imagine, or a Word document. We were given to Messiah from the Father. We have manifested your name to men whom you gave me out of the world. They were yours, you gave them to me, and they have kept your word. They have come to know
that everything you have given me has come from you. What has God given the Messiah for all this torture he experienced upon the cross? A kingdom full of people. God is the one that chose. But the plans of the Lord stand firm forever, the purposes of his heart through all generations. Blessed is the nation whose God is the Lord, and the people he chose for his inheritance. Thank you very much. If you want to learn more about this topic or go further, my book is Prosperity versus Austerity Doctrine by Morgan McGee. Thank you and God bless.